What's up, everyone? We are back for another episode of TMP, and today my guest is the Lion of Lebanon, Mr. Samir Bannout, Mr. Olympia, 1983. What's up, Samir? How you doing, champ?
Hey. My pleasure, man. I've been waiting on. I haven't talked to you face to face for a long time. Man.
I know. And you were one of the guys I look up to. I remember too, because I remember paying
you
attention.
Didn't look up to me. I'm your height.
I'm
not Shaquille O'Neal. You're looking up to me.
I know. But no, I'll tell you how this happened because
I'm just joking.
I was watching. I can't remember what the video was. It was a video. It was after you won the Olympia. It was back in 1983. And then for the next year, there was a video. I don't know what video it was where they filmed you training. And I remember they talked to you about, you knew Lee Haney was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you said, yeah, but to beat me. And you turned around and said, you got to have back. You got to have Christmas tree. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
See, that's how far I go back.
We're very competitive. We never say it in a mean way, but,
I know.
The spirit of competing,
I know, because that's why I want to talk to you, because you are a total different era. You have era, you in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and that's why I said, you're a perfect person to talk to, because we can get what was going on back then compared to what it is today, because you're still here, you still follow the sport, so you can literally tell the changes over the years, what has changed. Yeah. So, but back then, what made me even more a fan of Samir Bannout was, I remember when I started bodybuilding back in 92. And back then, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed from Jordan.
Yeah,
He was
from the Austrian, the guy that lived in Austria somewhere.
Yeah. He's from Jordan, but he lives in Austria. Exactly.
Great
and
guy.
He was the guest poser. Mm-hmm. And when I saw him pose, I saw Samir Bannout. And every single pose he did, it was like you, the same poses, the same way with all this stuff, that Samir used to do. That's why I remember that was the beginning of my bodybuilding career. Samir.
People see copyists, they see Dennis James doing this and they want to do that. And so, Mustafa was a good poser, He
was very good.
I feel bad for Mustafa because he could have gone farther talking about him. Sometimes, rushing and trying to do it, take the shortcuts, sometimes it's really unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also believe that. That's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic. So let's talk about Samir Bannout. Samir Bannout, when you started bodybuilding, who did you look up to?
Well, it's very clear. It's very easy. You know who I looked up to.
Was it Arnold?
Yes.
Okay.
You know that.
No, I didn't know. That's why I'm asking. Because I didn't know. Maybe there was other people that you kind of when you.
It was Arnold. Slam Dunk was Arnold.
Yeah.
And I picked up a magazine and I was very impressed by that look. He had that. I don't know. Arnold had that look. He had that charismatic look, and I got infected by that disease in, 1971, approximately, around 1971.
Were you already in the States back then, or were you still
No, I was in Lebanon. I was about to go watch the Clint Eastwood movie, The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. And I ended up buying a muscle magazine. I told my brother, I said, I don't have enough money. I got to buy this magazine. And I said, we can watch The Good and the Bad and the Ugly later.
Right. So
and that was it. That was when I started. I made up my mind. I want that look.
So you started lifting in Lebanon?
Yeah, I started. I had a brother-in-law who did Olympic lifting. And, I was impressed. I was heavily into volleyball, soccer, and good athlete overall. Mm-hmm. But once I saw that magazine, believe it or not, Dennis, it changes everything.
Right.
So that was the goal.
So now your goal is to be a bodybuilder, Did you know about the Olympia back then?
No, not well. The Olympia was only like a few years old. Larry Scott, Sergio Oliva, and then probably Arnold had already won maybe one or two Olympia. Probably Arnold did win the Olympia. When did the first time Arnold win? 71? Probably that was his first or second Olympia.
Good question. Off the top of my head,
I don't know.
I'm usually good with years.
Yes,
But
I am
it
too.
was, yeah, I think so. I think I think 71.
Around that time.
The first one was
Yeah.
65, correct?
Uh,
Larry Scott was it
Mr.
60?
Olympia.
Yeah.
The first one was
60.
65 when Larry Scott won.
Okay, so and who won before Arnold? Was Larry Scott? Then there
I think
was
Larry Scott won it twice, and then Sergio Oliva
3.
followed by 3 competition, and then Arnold took over. So you would say probably around 69, 70 when Arnold started to win.
So if
About that.
65 to Larry Scott twice was 66, 65 and 67 to 67, and then 67 to 70 would be Sergio
Yeah.
Oliva. Then 71, yeah, that works. Yeah,
Yeah, about that time. And then Arnold was new in the United States.
okay.
And Joe Weider was, giving him tons of publicity. So, when I saw that cover, Arnold was like that, have like round fullness,
Mm-hmm.
2 hot girls on his side. I said, wow, that like looks good.
So what was bodybuilding the reason for you to come to the U.S.?
Believe it or not, that was the main reason. I had no plan whatsoever to come to the United States, but because you see what's happening here, the Mecca bodybuilding, and Joe Weider, rest in peace, was bringing everyone over. Arnold, then he brought Franco, and a lot of people would come down here to the Mecca bodybuilding, and so that was like it became a dream. It became my dream. Is I want to be there. I want to see these guys, but step by step. I was on the Lebanese team to go to the Mr. Universe in 74. And there I saw Ferrigno, Bob Birdsong, Ken Waller. And I'm like, yeah, I'm one step closer. Now I want to go to America for real.
Right. So your
Crazy.
story is similar to mine because I did the Universe too before and I was like, I did Universe 92 to 95 or 96. And then I said, I need to get
I know everything about Dennis
I
James.
said, I need to get to the IFBB. And I came to the U.S. I bought myself a ticket. I knew Gold's Gym, Marina Pacific. You remember Marina Pacific?
Of course I remember.
And the Firehouse. Those are the 3 things I knew from the magazine. So that's all.
Yes.
That's all I had when I flew into LAX. I said, taxi, take me to the Marina Pacific. Yeah. So
And
it's
my
just,
buddy Joe Gucci used to manage that hotel.
yeah. So it's a similar
My
story.
friend come from Italy, from England, from everywhere. They stay at the Marina Pacific.
Yeah. It's a similar story to yours. So how
And they
did
go
you?
eat at the Firehouse.
Yeah, exactly.
And my Italian friend would tell me, Samir, let's go eat at the fire department. I said, no, Firehouse.
So how long did it take for you after you got to the U.S. to start competing in the U.S.?
I started in Michigan. I got there like 1975. I competed at the Universe 74 in Verona, and I was the youngest athlete there.
Mm-hmm.
And in Lebanon, they did a little white bullshit, light wash, and they announced me that Samir is the teenage Mr. Universe. And technically, I deserved that because I was the youngest one.
Right.
And really, I looked pretty damn good for a guy my age. And so even though I placed 7th, the best on the Lebanese team. And so right there, even when I was in Verona, I didn't even know, you remember Art Zeller, rest in
Yes,
peace.
Arcella. Yeah, the best pictures.
I already took some pictures. So when I came to California, I said, Samir, I've taken pictures of you and I got to show you. Come to my house. I'll show you the photo. Show me all the lack of. He said, I knew it that you have the future. You're going to be a great bodybuilder. And I said,
Thank God I was not too late to still get to, but I used to come to goals at the beginning. I used to see Art walking around the gym.
yeah.
The camera around his neck. And he'd pick up, he'd see something he liked, he would just take a picture. That was him, yeah.
Who wouldn't take a picture of Dennis James?
Yeah.
Dude, the greatest shoulders ever. The most, no, seriously, Dennis. I have to give you a lot of credit, dude. I mean, nobody had this density, that shoulders fullness, dude, I was like, what? What the?
I'm here to pay credit to Samir Bannout. I want to talk about
you deserve the credit, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really
the
appreciate
best
it.
shoulders, bar none.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the first time you talked to me because I knew who Samir Bannout was, but I didn't know Samir Bannout knew who Dennis James was. And I remember the first time I met you in person, you said the exact same thing,
Thank
and
you,
I was
Dennis.
like, I told her after, I said, I think my brother was there. I said, I can't believe fucking Samir Bannout told me, gave me props. It's like, people don't, I mean, you know what it's like when you come to America, you see guys you only know from the magazines. I studied people. I can tell you what people say in their interviews. I
saw you in so many shows, Dennis, and I saw you within striking distance. But, we all sometimes get robbed a little bit here and there. But I saw you.
I made a lot of mistakes.
You did great, man. I'll tell you what, man. It's like you came in a very complicated, sophisticated period.
Yeah.
Where you have Ronnie Coleman it was unbelievable during that period. And then, it wasn't easy. Your competition was more difficult than mine.
Yeah, I know there's more athletes. Yeah, probably.
There were more freaky guys.
But when I look back at videos and stuff from back in your time, was the camaraderie not so much different compared to was there rivalries where you could literally see that some people don't really like each other, or was it just?
Not really.
No.
It was kind of good camaraderie.
Yeah.
I go to I trained between World and Gold Gym, Dennis, and. For me, it was like watching Mr. Olympia daily.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Arnold, Frank Zane, Serge Nabray come to visit, Ed Corney, Danny Padilla, Mike and Raymond, everyone around,
Mm-hmm.
So it was like for me, because I'm passionate, just like you, it was like a kid in a candy store, watching all the greats around you, training, the intensity. But, we were laughing. It was like a happy atmosphere.
But it's so motivating when you see them all train because it makes you train even harder. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh, it was. What's funny is I was looking for a place to live. And, it was very difficult to find an apartment. So Danny Padilla said, Samir, you can come stay with me. Danny is a great guy. I'm crowned Mr. Olympia, 81, my opinion. So Danny took me in. I stayed with him for over a month. And he was training with Ed Corney at the time. And actually, Danny was staying at one of the unit that Joe Weider gave, let him stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny was really a sweetheart. So I stayed with him until I found my place on 7th Street. It's like blocks away from Gold and World Gym. It was just wonderful, man. I was lucky to be here at the right time, be amongst the greats.
Joe Weider's Olympia here in Orlando, Florida.
A little bit strange coming out of Las Vegas for all of those years.
Good evening, and welcome to the event that nearly never happened.
There's been an absence of a particular group of people on this stage that are back tonight. Tonight I'm here to say, welcome back to Miss Olympia.
Yeah. What did it do to you winning the Olympia? What did your life change?
It's my dream, Dennis. I want it bad. I really worked my butt off to get there. And I tried to do whatever necessary to look, back then we were like, I think there were more art involved in the sport.
Yeah.
I think right now the judges focus so much on how ripped he is. If his glutes are ripped, it doesn't matter if you pose like Pee Wee Herman. Come on. This is a combination of things. So, yeah, back then, I was around Frank Zane. I go to Frank, visiting him at home. I hang out with him. And, being around the great and learning from the great does matter. It really does help you. They paved the way to do things properly. I really believe we did it a little bit differently back in the day. It was more, we looked at the art, and I don't want to, no disrespect to what's happening today, But a lot of things can be better nowadays too. And so, for me, I learned a lot from trial and error.
Right.
But after over 45 years in the game, when I talk about the sport, I really mean it from the heart. Nothing against who is competing now. Absolutely nothing. I love them all.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to speak and tell the truth about what I see.
Yeah.
And not to do anything in a derogatory way or show any hateful.
Right.
Never.
Right.
It'll never be.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah, I know you. That's why I know that's absolutely.
I can't
true.
help it. If I see something good, I'll say it.
Yeah. Which is absolutely you're right. So going into the '83 Olympia, did you think you're gonna win? You could win this show at that time?
Based on what happened in '82, Dennis, there are things we learn as we go. So my body chemistry was off for a couple of years because I made a few mistakes. I was over trying. I was under extreme stress. If you tell me train 100, I train 300. And, sometimes I'll say I won't, if I have to go on 500 calorie diet, I'll do it. To me, it was nothing going to stop me. But sometimes we do it in an extreme way and it backfire. So in the 80s, I tried so hard. And one of my close friends, Ardella, said, "Oh, Samir, you said don't diet. I saw you eating a popsicle." People start pointing finger and blaming, "Oh, you're not dieting." But you know what? I was dieting harder than anyone.
Right.
I was training very hard. But knowing what happened, to answer your question, what happened to me in '82, I felt this close, and I sincerely mean it, that I felt it could have been me on top too. No disrespect, I love Chris Dickerson. He's a great artist. He's one of the greatest masters. But many people, many experts felt I could have done it even in '82.
Mm-hmm.
But even to be in the winner's circle, it made me happy. So in Wembley, before I left the stage, I said, "I'll be back next year," but very loud.
Yeah.
But I knew in my heart I had the burning desire. After 2 years of drought, I couldn't get it together, but we found out why Samir couldn't get it together.
Right.
And so once I did it in '82 properly, I knew that '83 is going to be Hiroshima.
You're going to drop the bomb on them.
It's going to, I really honestly felt it from the heart.
So compared '83 Olympia compared to the Olympia 2020, Ramy won $400,000 for winning the Olympia. How much did you win back in '83?
The price was $50,000. I mean, come on.
It was,
but
it was
at the time,
$50,000 for winning.
yes.
Okay.
No, the top. I think the top 5 will get $50,000.
All of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Arnold used to make $1,000.
That's what I'm saying. Arnold made $1,000. I didn't know it was $50,000 back in '83. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's only about $20 million less than we get paid for a movie. $25 million less.
But for us, it's not about the $50,000 or for the 400. It's the title. It's the title.
Well, yeah, actually, the title what counts.
You are one of only 16 people on this planet.
You know what's funny, Dennis, is like you win that amount of money, but really you go out on an exhibition tour, you make $100,000, which is you got paid more doing a seminar and guest posing than what you won in the competition.
Yeah.
But good thing that now we are up to that, and I hope one day we'll see $1 million. Even though I'm not gonna get it, you're not gonna get it, but because we know how much sacrifice we put into this. I know how hard you train, Dennis, and I know how hard you try. When someone like you be on the take the number one spot, for God's sake, just comparing us to golf players, to tennis player, come on, give us a slack a little bit.
Yeah, true.
A guy, the best guy in the world, the best professional bodybuilder in the world, deserve at least $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to Jake Wood. I'm just, I think Jake Wood probably will help that.
I tell you this, I think that if it was up to Jake, there will be different checks be going out. But sometimes there's still, sometimes it's not in his hands how much money some people can get. Because I believe, you know,
Is Jimmy is Jimmy controlling that a little bit?
Oh, no. I mean, the federation is the federation. I mean, there's still, you know, you have to understand certain things. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it will move. I think it will change for a few categories.
I hope they'll go up to 1 million because they can have more sponsor. We just need to show a little more beauty to that.
I don't necessarily think it's got to go higher for the guys. I think it should go higher for the other categories. You know, so you don't have to feel like, you know, when you compare classic physique. Classic physique, if you win classic physique Olympia, you get 40,000. That's 10 times less.
Yeah, that's not fair.
You know, so I think instead of worried about giving $1 million to the big boys, you know, why not? If you have an Olympia and everybody is an Olympia champ, why not make everybody get the same money?
Dennis, you're a fair guy, and I trust in your vision. And I'm not saying, do it now, but they should. You know, I mean, now we're at 400,000. It would be okay to go to $500,000. It'd be okay a year later to go to 750,000. They should keep. You know, they're going to have so many sponsors. Yeah. They can have that money like that. They could. Yeah. Come on. I'm listening. I think Jake would, first of all, I don't know Jake very, very well. I don't know how he's, but I know from people that he is passionate.
Very.
He loves the sport. And I'm glad he took over from Mr. Pecker.
We all are, trust me.
You know, I mean, come on. Pecker, you know, he's a businessman.
Yeah, he had nothing.
He belongs with the National Enquirer.
Yeah, he had nothing to do with bodybuilding.
He belong with this.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's wonderful to see someone from within, like Mr. Wood. That's very good. That gave me more. It made me happy inside. Honest to God. Yeah. I'm not just exaggerating. That's the truth.
That's awesome. So, going back to 83. Here's what I want to talk to you about because. You know what's going on today. You see what's happening, how has it changed, how the sport has evolved. You know, and this is a podcast. We can talk about anything, and especially back in '83. Would you tell me, you're honest? Well, what did a Mr. Olympia '83 use? You know, contest prep. Because I want to compare this to the.
You want to know my contest prep?
I want to know because I want to compare it to today.
Just imagine how many gurus talked to me about my own contest prep, and they emulated. They tried to copy it. No disrespect, but listen, Dennis, I go by harmony. I don't think, with all due respect to Dennis James and his massiveness, it's always good to look at the overall picture from head to toe. I'm not against big guys. Absolutely not. I am for the big muscle. If you don't have big muscle, you're not a good bodybuilder. I think you should have a big muscle, but keep it beautiful. Keep it, you know, pretty. I mean, come on. If Dennis James had the whole package, I mean, honestly, you know, Dennis, you know, you look at little cars sometime. You look at let's say, Porsche 911 or whatever, and compared to a Cadillac or any SUV, but it doesn't. You could always you have to respect those 200-pounder or 212-pounder, and it's not about the biggest guy should win. Believe me, you can see the difference when you put guy. Okay, look, when I won, I was standing next to Lee Haney. And you know Berto Fox yourself.
Oh, yeah.
He was massive. So why not? Why not? You can still see the guy that wins. How many times LeBron was a runner-up at the Olympia? And he's about 100 pounds lighter probably than the guy who beat him. So it's really not about size alone. It's about beauty to come along with it. So it has to be all done properly. You know, I mean, look at nowadays.
Now tell me the cycle.
My cycle, what did I do exactly?
Yes.
First of all,
Can you remember?
4 months. Yeah, I remember, and I have everything written down.
Okay.
Everything to the T. What did I do? 12:30 back then in November. What did I eat? What did I take? And how much? Everything in detail is written down. So I did it in stages. I got myself fairly full and slowly start to drop my... When I went to Germany, I was already in good shape. And that was 1 month before the show. Anytime you do drastic drop, it's not always the right thing to do. It's better to do it in stages. So I was in Germany, in Munich, around 208 pounds, looking pretty damn good. But looking pretty damn good is not enough at the Olympia. You have to be shredded. And I just did what I had to do.
Okay, what was it? That's what I want to know.
What was it? So first, let me tell you regarding my caloric intake.
I don't want to know the listen, Samir, I don't want to know the calories.
What do you want to know?
I want to know the gear. What did a Miss Olympia back in '83 use?
What did I take?
Yeah.
In fact, you're going to laugh if
I know I'm not going to laugh because I believe you, but I just want the people to understand what it was back then compared to today.
Actually, it's a good question. It's a good question. And I don't really care that it was done, it's done, but it wasn't done to, I know everybody else was doing it.
I know. Samir, listen, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I just want to know, I want the people to understand what is possible with the amount compared to what these guys do today. I want the people to understand that this today is ridiculous.
Okay, I had my highest dosage until the last 4 weeks.
Okay, so give me the dose before the last.
Normally, I'm around 750 to about 800, 900. That's my beginning of the prep.
That's a week.
I build up to that. And then right before the show, I reach about, I could even show you the book.
No, just tell me.
I reach about 1,250 in total.
In
between
total.
androgen,
Yes.
In total.
Okay.
Between oral and injectable.
Yes.
And really, by the way, keep in mind, I had checked up my enzyme. Everything was right on the money. Everything was fine. And I looked healthy. Look at my face.
Yeah. No, you still with us and you are healthy. That's for me. That's for me the biggest sign that you did it right.
But the thing is, sometimes, from my perspective, more is less. So if you listen, if it's 800, 900 in total working, why take 2,000? So slowly, if you reach a plateau, go increase slowly, not boom.
Yeah.
If you are hunting, you don't shoot a pheasant with a cannon. You shoot him with a shot. Boom. You don't need a cannon to drop a pheasant or to drop that's my philosophy. I'm conservative in that area.
Are you familiar with what guys do today?
Some guys, some kids come to me for help. And they tell me the amount, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Listen, would you believe if I tell you that I have that same today when I hear it, even though I was way past you? And when you tell me, listen, 1,200 a week, I believe it 1,000% on the spot. I would never question that, And it's the same with me because when people look at me or when they see my pictures,
and they think you're a monster.
They think I was juiced to the gills. They think it was up here. When I tell people, and
but they don't believe you.
And yeah, of course, and which I don't care because at the end of the day, I know it. I'm still here.
I look at you. You look healthy. Thank God. Knock on wood.
I tell people, listen. My honest opinion is that I broke it down. I said my test was never that 750 a week. Did I do 1,000? I tried it. But I didn't have any more success, so why would I take more? So I stayed with 750. Then I had, let's say, Deca, 600 max, and a couple of orals. And when I never took Anadrol.
I did.
I never, because, because
I'm honest. I didn't tell you the truth.
No, but I tell you why, because that shit wasn't around in my time.
Oh, no, it was there.
Yeah, but no, not where I was in Thailand.
Hey, but listen, I took it back in 85. I did 84, 85. I took it.
But Samir, see,
but I took it for a short period of time.
Got you. Yeah, listen, you don't have to excuse yourself. I understand. Listen, we get it, and people don't believe it. Yeah, I believe everything you say.
then it's looking at your body. Of course, people go on to say, "Oh, he's using 10,000."
Yeah.
People are stupid,
Bro.
I mean, look, I know Lee Prince also the same thing.
Yeah, and I know a lot of guys. The best guys in the world don't use what people think because they are the best because they have the genetics, they have the drive.
400 milligrams of test. That was my max.
I believe you.
I swear to God.
Listen, I believe it. You don't have to swear to. I believe it.
I consulted with Bill Pearl. Bill was he's the godfather. He's 91 years old. God gave him a long life. Wonderful man. And he said, Samir, listen to your body. And sometimes taking 2 aspirin, blah, blah, blah. I learned a little bit about what to do, but I always kept it under doctor supervision where I did, I have, frequent testing. And I made sure my SGPT, SGOT, all in fine. My thyroid was fine. My red blood cell, everything was fine. So no problem. No harm was done.
And you didn't have to worry. You didn't have to worry about getting any counterfeit stuff back then. Everything was real.
It's hard to believe, but I tell them what I've done, what I have used. Listen, 2 shot of Tren.
A week.
2 shots, 76.5.
Nigma.
A week, not more.
Nigma. Power bowling.
You guys, listen.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. And I work with guys and everybody I work with, I ask them I give them a questionnaire to tell me, what they've been doing, not only gear wise, but food, everything. So I get an idea of what they're working with. Yeah. And I have guys, Samir, if I tell you that I have guys that I have to basically almost send to rehab to get them off the shit, I'm talking 15 to 700 milligrams a day.
Whoa.
Did you hear what I just said?
I heard that.
15 to 1,700 milligrams a day. And
I didn't do that a week. I did it maybe for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Under that.
So I contacted the person, and I don't want to put a name on it. There's a few. I contacted the person. I said, "Listen, that's a typo, right?" He said, "No. You know what? You don't take this much. You didn't take that much." I said, "Are you crazy?"
That's crazy.
Unfucking believable. And I don't know. I said, my question for this person was, "Where do you put it? Where do you put all this shit?"
Honestly, this is insanity.
Yeah.
And really, that's why it's important. Sometimes I talk about these things. I really want to help. It's not about my personal profit here. I really love to help the sport because we have a beautiful, great sport. And, weight training is the key for all sport. But when these kids learn, they think, to be like Dennis James, you have to take a T-Rex dose. Bullshit. I mean, really, hey, you can burn a forest with a little flame.
Yeah.
These guys have no clue. Yeah. We need to educate those guys.
I know, but the problem is they listen to the next one with the bigger arm in the gym and they tell them this and that, and this is what they believe. The problem is the first steroid cycle for a person should be something very minimum. These guys go in with a 10 out of 10 because that's what they hear. And then you wonder why they compete for 2 years and then you never see or hear from them again.
That's the problem. Dennis, I trained for 7 years. I really didn't use anything. And would never bullshit you. I'll tell you exactly what I've done. The harshest oral I've used Energol for a period of time. And then I look, it was huge. And so, I know a couple of Mr. Olympia that used 5 times more than me. 5 times more than me. I know that for a fact because I heard it from them. So I've never really abused. And, if you're not competing, excuse my language, don't fuck with it if you're not competing.
Yeah.
If you're competing, then you have to face guys like Dennis Jane, Dorian Yates, and, of course you need that competitive edge, but do it with caution. Okay, you talk to an expert, someone been there, done that. Go to your doctor. We're not going to tell you do it in a barbaric way. But this 1,700 milligram a day, this guy is nuts. He's sick.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
They're sick in the head.
You know
I
what?
feel sorry for these guys.
There was another guy that had the same problem. I asked him, I said, why are you taking so much? You know what his answer was? He said, I get it so cheap. It's like,
Oh my God.
I was like, that's the cheapest death ever.
Oh my God. That's the stupidest response I've ever heard.
I swear I couldn't make this up. I get it so cheap.
Well, I have a guy from India. He called me and I'm trying. I said, okay, I'll help you, but you got to listen 100% to what I tell you.
Uh-huh.
And sent me what you've been doing, and I want to help you bring you back to health. He told me the amount that he was taking. I said, oh my Lord.
I said, it's too late.
Who's ever helping you once don't love you, want to kill you.
Yeah.
And they were selling the stuff. This is the sad part, is when you really want to make a profit and destroy the kids' health. It's really sad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, you haven't been competing. Look at you. You look great. You look healthy. And that's how I can judge. Look at Sean Ray. Sean, he looks good.
Yeah.
And he competed so many times.
He was one of the smart ones, too, when it comes to that.
Sean is very smart. And, you know, he didn't do anything. He wasn't irrational. And this is the only sad part, is when they see a guy like Dennis James, the biggest shoulder, right away, I got to take so much. No. And, you know, even Ramy back in the days, Ramy. He said Samir was so shredded in Germany, he looked like someone lasered his muscles separation. And I knew back then he discovered HGH.
Oh, really? That's what they accuse
That's
you
what
of?
Robbie says. And honestly, I didn't touch any HGH. I didn't touch GH for 83 and 82 and 80. I didn't. I'm not against GH as an anti-aging, taken properly, just to have a proper secretion or proper replacement, you know, because your pituitary, as you get older, is not going to secrete as good. But we have to be logical. Why, if the best human pituitary, like guys like Yao Ming, who played basketball, may have produced 1 IU, why these guys are doing the 10 IU, Dennis? Come on. This is insanity. Honestly, personally, I believe it's overkill, way overkill. It's really not necessary.
I think that the high amount of GH came from when they introduced the Chinese GH into the U.S. market that was so cheap and so weak.
Just like
and
that cheap, then I can take more.
And mostly fake, you know, and then they realized they don't feel nothing. Then they took 1 bottle, which is 10 IUs, and then they took 2 bottles, and then they just started taking 2 bottles, and they think this is the way you got to do it. You know, they don't realize that real They don't realize if you have some real stuff, if you would take that much, you wouldn't be able to move your hands.
That's true.
You know, so
that's
therefore,
true. Dennis, you know, you saw many people. You know the new era a little bit more than I do, and you know what you're telling me is it's crazy. You know, it's common practice. You know, Dennis, what really hurts, and we should really talk about that. We need to help people. We need to bring a little more awareness, because I have people in Iraq, in different countries in the Middle East region. Some kids, they think you can take insulin in a syringe like taking 1 cc of Deca. You know what happened when someone take 1 cc, not 1 IU or 2 or 10 IU, 1 cc. They don't know. No one is really telling them. They hear about it. They say, "Oh, I'll take insulin." But this is, first of all, from my perspective, I'm not in agreement using insulin. I'm not. I know it's going to help you grow, but it's going to trigger major problem, in the internal. It's in regard to developing more internal fat.
Mm-hmm.
The internal fat I think it's really deadly eventually.
I'm not a fan of it either. There's a few people out there we know who they are that are big advocates of insulin. I think that I think it's
more detrimental.
It's overrated, way overrated.
Thank
way
you, Dennis.
overrated.
Thank you.
Way overrated.
And when I talk to someone like you, and I know you say it like it is, we really need to talk about it, because honestly, getting big at all costs is not smart.
No, not at all.
You could drive 75. If the speed limit 65, you want to go 75, I'm okay with that. But why are these guys going 150 miles an hour?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man.
Because they want to crash. That's why.
No, they are crashing, and it's very unfortunate when you see guys who are young and handsome and healthy, and all of a sudden they disappear.
If you look at the guys today, because I know you follow bodybuilding very closely still. If you look at the guys, let's say the last 5 years, what do you like about the athletes today, and what bothers you?
I'm always in the sport, and I saw you the last time you competed in Vegas. I'm like, me, I'm a big fan. I love the game, but we have to speak the truth. And when something isn't right, it's good to talk about it, and not in a derogatory way, but we need to really help, not hurt. I love mass, but Dennis, I don't see that onion skin. Look, when you took over with Big Ramy, you and
Chad did take over.
You and Chad, you did a great job, because you really brought back that onion skin on him. And Ramy, in my opinion, that's the best he ever looked. He peaked properly. Why? Because he learned from experts that been there, done that. And no disrespect to everyone around him. I mean, there was a lot of guys that also capable of winning the Olympia. But Ramy that day, he was onion skin. I would love to see Ramy to stay healthy and focus on that old school look. They wasted. Because at the end of the day, guys like Ramy don't need size anymore.
Yeah, true.
What's for?
Yeah.
He's beyond massive. And so I would focus more on his calves. I'd bring his calves up. I wouldn't train size for maybe a year. I would shrink his thigh a little bit and bring more harmony and beauty to his body. And what bothers me now is like looking, the quality is not the same. If it's not 24 karat gold, I'm not impressed.
Mm-hmm.
If it's over 18, it's okay. But taking it to 14 karat, that's not acceptable, in my opinion. Then we start looking at metal.
Yeah.
Quality is important. I mean, Dennis, when I saw some of your pictures, I couldn't help it. A few years back, I saw this picture, your pictures, with your shoulders were ripping. They were 24 karat gold with so much density. And no, but you see, I gotta say it like it is.
Okay.
We appreciate beautiful things, quality,
right,
and art. And so sometimes we all make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Only God is perfect. But once we learn that this is something not correct, we should change it. We should change direction. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Who
impresses you the most out of the lineup today? Who do you think is?
Who is that? Well, I think, I feel guys like Hadi Chopin, with his charismatic, he's coming in sharp. I felt like he should have won the year before, and he was pretty close this year. Ramy have to really be prepared again. He's going to have it's not going to be easy walk in the park.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You have to come in that onion skin again. And then, Brandon Curry, listen, I have a lot of respect for Brandon. The thing is, when he was in Kuwait, he was focusing more shoulders and arm. But he neglected, or maybe didn't put so much more emphasis on his legs, especially the hamstring from the back. Then it looked it was full on top, and then weeks. It's like sudden drop in that quad area from the back, his hamstring. So I think that actually affected him a little bit. But he's beautiful. He's got a beautiful body. He's got small waist, wide shoulders. So who is more shredded and who's going to bring that 24 karat gold with having that charismatic? If Brandon come in, like, let's say, have that personality of Hadi Chopin, Hadi is like, you could see he is positive. But I think he is really getting cheated, from my perspective. Why?
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe because he's from Iran. I don't care where you come from.
What do you mean cheated, though? What do you mean by cheated? Like
I felt, they give him the champion belt, the people champion. So why give him the Miss Olympia?
Well, Ramy won it both last year.
I know, like, okay.
But don't you think that I think the judging was? Did you see the score sheets?
I didn't look at the score sheet. I voted for Ramy. I was there.
Okay. All right. So Ramy was first after prejudging.
Brandon was second.
No. Phil was second.
No, Phil was third.
I'm just telling you after prejudging.
Oh, okay.
After Friday night, Ramy was in first, Phil was in second, Brandon in third, and Hadi was in fourth.
Yes.
Saturday, Ramy clear first, Hadi all second place votes.
Wow.
Really? Phil, Brandon third, and Phil all fourth place. But because he was in fourth on Friday, because Hadi wasn't as good Friday because he came 2 days prior. Saturday, he was unbelievable.
Wow.
Saturday, he got straight. All judges had Hadi in second. So he ended up losing to Phil for third place by 1 single point. Because he couldn't make up enough points. If he had 1 or 2 first place votes on Saturday, or if he would have looked Friday the way he did Saturday, Hadi would have been in dead second. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, so, I'm talking more about Hadi the year before.
The year before was his first year.
I felt he should have won. No disrespect. I know Brandon Curry is great, and I think Brandon is, if he comes in right on the money and really improves, it's going to be very tough to beat.
I said the same. The year before, I said I have Hadi and William Bonac fighting for first after prejudging.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
So how's Ramy now? Is he hunting for it?
Well, he just finished Ramadan, so now he's getting back on track now.
Oh, he'll be back. I mean, Dennis, I only prepared for the Olympia 4 months.
Yeah.
2 months to gain, 8 weeks to diet.
You know, the good thing is about him, he don't have to worry about gaining. So he basically...
He didn't worry about what?
He don't have to worry about gaining any weight. So, that's a good thing for him. He don't have to worry about getting bigger. So he just needs to get ready,
The thing is, look, a few years back, I felt Flex Lewis would have given Phil Heath a run for his money.
Mm-hmm.
But Flex, somehow, he was, I don't want to say the word afraid, or he didn't want to gamble, lose to 212 to Phil Heath, but at least compare with him. He was looking good. I think he's getting beyond big. I think Flex Lewis should also focus on keeping that midsection really tight.
Yeah, well, I don't believe he will have a problem with the midsection.
You think he's going to compete?
Yeah, he will. He will do the
Flex?
Open. Yeah. He's training now. He's training.
I like Flex Lewis. He's got a beautiful legs, beautiful arm, and he's pretty. I just hope that he doesn't think if he wants to be Ramy, he needs to be 240.
I don't know. He knows he will never be as big as Ramy. And these guys all should think
Nobody
the same.
can be as big as Ramy.
So this shouldn't be the case. They shouldn't be worried about size. They should all
What was Ramy's weight? May I ask you what?
292 Friday and 289 on Saturday.
Wow.
So
that's massive. That's
yeah,
massive.
but compared to usually 335, 310. So he was 20 pounds lighter.
Good. Ramy is a lucky guy.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him 10 pounds lighter.
He connected with a dream team. That's a real dream team.
Yeah, I mean,
the real dream team that actually put him on the map, and I'm happy for him because he's a wonderful human being. Ramy is a great guy.
But coming back to what you said, because people should not chase him in size because we saw it the last 7 years. He got beat to smaller guys. Matter of fact, last year when he won the Olympia, he competed at the Arnold and lost to Dexter Jackson and William Bonac, both almost 100 pounds less.
Yeah, he needs to be.
Well, maybe that was a bit too much, but 40 pounds.
If he's not as tight as he was last year, he's gonna have a tough time again.
If it's not better, I don't think he's going to win.
I agree with you. He has to look.
I'll be the first one to tell you he needs to be better than he was last year.
Wow. Well, then.
Because he wasn't because last year he wasn't 100%. So there's room for him to get better. That's the scary. That's the scary thing.
I know you and Chad were talking about bringing that old school look on him.
Chad had him diet like back in the days.
What was it? Was it more like keto style diet?
No, it was just he literally took him to a place that he's never been before. When it comes to
what was his carb intake approximately?
Oh, there was phases where he had very, very, very little carbs for quite some time. So we went to the point where he was about to break. So he went with just to have a little bit of carbs for breakfast, and that's it, other than vegetables, for months. So he went to that old school place, and Ramy was at a point where he wanted to give up a couple of times. He said, "I'm done. I can't do this." He told me he called his wife from my house, and he told her to buy him a ticket. He wanted to die at home with his family.
That cracked me up. I saw you torturing him.
I told him every day.
I know your style, Dennis, and it works. It works for Ramy, and I know you worked with him before.
Yeah.
And he was good.
Yeah.
I think you need to be around people that also understand the science of nutrition properly.
Yes. But here's the thing.
Because it's not always the gear, my friend.
No, it absolutely wasn't. Trust me.
This is what I'm saying. Most people put so much emphasis, the gear. Yeah. If I take this, if they scratch your head, they have to take something.
Yeah.
No, when you have an experienced guy that understands how to alter things through proper, nutritional knowledge. There was
things we made him do that he's never done before. And the problem, he second guessed himself every other day. He's like, I made him pose 4 or 5 times a day. I made him pose in the house. You saw it on stage. He wanted to give up. He said, "Oh, that's enough." I said, "You want to tell the head judge when he tells you to come out to say, no, it's enough?" I said, "Get your ass here, pose." And he did it. And at the end, it paid off. So now he understands what it takes to win the Olympia.
This is an excellent thing to say, Dennis. I respect you a lot for that because sometimes some athletes, they always have a little doubt and they're not. When you have a coach that brings your spirit, brings you up and puts you like, let's go, you're going to be Mr. Olympia. You're not a quitter. You have a coach that understands the mental aspect, the posing. They make you see yourself as a Mr. Olympia. And keep in mind, the door is open. Honestly, I felt Phil Heath is a bad to the bone. When he's on, oh my God.
Oh, if he's on, Phil is almost unbeatable.
Oh, Phil Heath, when he's on, my friend, he's fantastic. Yeah, he really is fantastic. But I'm so happy for the king-size magic Egyptian. That's like Makawi. We went from 160 pound to 300 pound Egyptian.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah, but you know what? And on a side note, it's good to see that what a lot of people thought wasn't possible, not only Ramy winning, because, it's because he's winning even though he is from Egypt. A lot of people thought that would never be possible. They like, they would never let him win because he's not American or he's not from here and doesn't speak the language very well. That shows you that anything is possible if you bring the goods.
That's nice. That's very nice. I love it. I mean, look, when you have an organization that have people that have been there, done that, and, when you have, honestly, I think Jim Manion, he's a good man. He was a bodybuilder himself. And I don't think he give a crap if you're from Lebanon or from Egypt or from Iran.
Exactly.
And that's important. And again, having this group of people, I feel happy because everybody getting their fake shake. I think.
Yeah.
I think Jake would also have that same mentality. I think you are. I know you were coaching people from Iran. Mm-hmm. I know you're coaching people from all kind of walk of life from any country. So, in sport, we should not divide. No matter what goes on in politics, but athletes who work hard deserve what they work hard for.
Yeah, and that's what, and the judges said they will judge what they see in front of them. That's it.
That's beautiful.
Awesome.
That's beautiful.
Bro, it's always great to talk to you, my friend. I appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
I appreciate you giving us an insight on Samir Bannout and back in the 80s. And I'm already looking forward to seeing you back at the Olympia in Orlando. I know you're going to be there.
Same here. I'm coming. I want to come and watch, of course.
Did you get your COVID? Did you get your COVID shot?
Who?
Did you get your COVID shot yet? The vaccine. Did you get the vaccine?
Oh! I'm sorry. I'm like, I thought it sounded like you said Kobe, but not COVID. So I took the Pfizer.
Okay.
I took a shot last Sunday, so today would be my 9th day.
Oh, so you're going to get another one in a couple of weeks.
I'm going to tell you, I think this is an immune support shot. That's it.
Yeah, who
Everybody.
knows? Who knows?
Did you take it?
Of course, both shots, yes.
You did?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
I only took it because I want to travel. So and they're going to make it mandatory for people traveling internationally.
Me too. I know. I'm going to mention Sean took it, Louis took it, Arnold took it.
Yeah.
Dennis James took it. All my friends at Old Team took it.
Yeah. Because what is it going to do? What is it going to do?
People are like so.
Yeah.
This conspiracy theory bullshit. It's insane.
How could you put something in your body, man? I put a lot of other shit in my body. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Dennis, I know what to do nutritionally to keep my immune powerful.
Yeah.
And I have been doing it all along.
And you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. You look great, man. I'm always inspired when I see you, man. It's good to see you. Show me your abs one more time, man. Come on.
My abs?
Yes.
Is this an abs or this is an arm?
No, that's an arms. Yeah, still the same. And
I'm not shaved, Dennis. Look,
that's okay. Nothing's changed. There you go. You're the best, man.
It's there. Yeah. I'm not even watching.
You have something that nobody can ever take away from you, my man, and that's a Mr. Olympia Sandow.
I eat clean. That's all that matters. It's all about the engine right now.
There you go.
It's about helping.
How old are you now? How old are you now?
Oh, I just turned 42 yesterday. Hey, man, it's a number. I know, but I'm inspired by people. November 7th, 1955. November 7th,
1955. So you are 11 years older than me, and I'm 55, so you're 66.
65.
But you're going to be 66.
Why are you rushing, Dennis? Come on, slow down.
But for me, this is inspiring to see people like you at over 60, still in shape, still here, still healthy.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
No, you got to thank yourself a little bit because you're doing what is necessary. So.
Well, health is wealth. And,
True.
I always think about Bill Pearl. God bless him. 91. He wake up in the morning and work out. He live in Medford, Oregon. Mm-hmm. And Bill, he's a great example. He competed. He won several NABA universities. He could have been Mr. Olympia if he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But, Bill Pearl he does live the healthy life.
Right.
He understands nutrition, and your body can work with you. If you understand how to treat your body, the body will repair itself.
Yeah.
And so health is wealth. Dennis, love you, man.
Take care, my brother. Be safe.
It's
God
always
bless
good
you.
to see you.
We'll see you in Orlando, brother. Take care.
Always.
Give my love
Thank
to the
you.
family.
Look forward to it. Thank you,
Peace out.
Dennis.
Peace out.